Hi, everybody. Hopefully, one of the easiest lessons of the year right now, school year or distance learning, either one, is area of rectangles and squares. This should go really, really quick. The way to find the area of a rectangle is base times height. You literally just multiply the numbers. Bases and heights have to make a right angle, which is why this only works in rectangles and squares. We'll see this a little bit more complicated in parallelograms and triangles when bases and heights don't always make right angles. But literally, it's going to be as easy as multiplying two numbers, getting answers like 78 for today. You may be more familiar with the formula equals length times width. Absolutely feel free to use that. There's reasons why we're moving to base and height. To make sure we're set. Square is also easy. You can use the same formula. Just have to remember that the base is the height, 7 times 7. It might be easier to instead realize that the formula, when you multiply something times itself, is whatever side that you have squared. Which, by the way, exponent of 2's being called squared comes from the fact that this is the formula for a square. Either way, you get the answer of 49, and it's that easy. Now, just to be clear on what these numbers mean, 78, 49, they're that if you divided this up into little units, how many little squares make up a distance if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in one direction, 7 in the other direction. How many little squares would make up the inside? The answer would be 49 little squares. And that's where this multiplication concept comes from. We're going to start seeing it a little bit differently in more complicated shapes next week. But for right now, it's really that easy. All right. So this is all you're going to have to do is literally form problems this easy to be able to get to a B 85% grade or so today. To be able to get to 100% A plus, all you have to do is the exact same idea, but work backwards. So remember, it's not multiply the numbers. It's that the area equals the base times the height. So if the area is 65 and the base is M and the height is 5, what do you have to do? And the answer is, instead of multiply, you just have to divide. 65 divided by 5. It's literally as easy as that. Instead of a multiplication problem, it's a division problem. The answer is M is 13. It's just the exact same idea of a square. The area of a square is side squared. So 36 is the side that we don't know y squared. Instead of dividing, we're going to be talking about what number times itself gives you 36. And the mathematical way to talk about that would be taking a square root. If you take a square root, in this case, we get an answer of y equals 6. Problems are really that easy, not too bad, not too hard. So to get to a B today, which should just take you a few minutes, multiply the numbers in your rectangles and squares, or if it's easier, square the sides of your squares. And then as you're doing your last few problems to move from a B to 100%, work backwards. Instead of multiplying, divide. Instead of squaring, work backwards and square root. The way you'll be able to tell that you're supposed to work backwards is it'll give you an area like those bottom two problems. It'll tell you like an area is 65 or an area is 36. It won't just give you the sides. Take care, everyone. Have an easy day, and we'll touch base next week.